Hi everybody, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm your digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Right now I have the top headlines, trending topics, and what we're working on for you right now ahead of our 6 p.m. What Matters Most, 7 p.m. Front Row, and 11 p.m. What Next broadcasts. So first of all, happy Halloween. We've got trick-or-treating times for you. Those are up on WKYC.com, and we'll be covering those in a little bit tonight. Big story today is the House formally voted on the procedures it will follow in order to undergo the impeachment inquiry of President Donald Trump. We'll tell you exactly what that means and how the Ohio members of Congress voted on that. We also have some fun sports news with our sports producer, Matt Florjancic. Kevin Love got into the Halloween spirit early, so he'll have the story for us on that, and how Nick Chubb is feeling after last Sunday's loss to the New England Patriots. Mike Pulk Jr. will also be stopping by to let us know what he's working on, which is always a fun surprise. And Chief Meteorologist Betsy Kling gave us an update on her Instagram page about what the weather looks like tonight for anybody who is out trick-or-treating, so we will take a look at that. All right, first up, we're going to take a look at the impeachment inquiry vote in the House. We have that story up on WKYC.com right now, so I'm going to drop that link in the comments for you so you can check that out when you'd like to. Now, this is a vote on the process that must be followed to start the impeachment process. Very important to distinguish that this is not a vote on the actual impeachment of President Donald Trump. This is how the House will go about public hearings and writing up potentially articles of impeachment if it does come to that. The vote was 232 in favor and 196 opposed. Every single Republican in the House voted against this procedure, plus 2 Democrats. So that means that all 12 Ohio Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives voted against this. Plus 2 Democrats, not Ohio Democrats though, so that means that all 4 Ohio Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives voted to formally open the impeachment inquiry. In case you were curious, the Democrats who voted against it were Representatives Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey and Colin Peterson of Minnesota. So from here, there will be hearings, and after that, if articles of impeachment are drafted, then the House will have to vote again whether or not to pass those articles of impeachment. All the House has to do in order to pass those articles of impeachment is have a simple majority, which means more people vote in favor than against. So it could turn on literally one person. You just have to have more people voting for than against in order for impeachment to actually happen. At that point, if the House were to vote to adopt articles of impeachment, then Trump will have been impeached, if it gets to that point. Now, that is just like being charged. This is not a criminal trial, but that's what it would be similar to. And then at that point, then it would go to the Senate, where the Senate would vote on rules for a trial, and then they would have the trial. So that's what this vote means today. It is a significant vote, but it is not an impeachment vote. So I want to make that distinction very clear. All right, next up we have our sports producer, Matt Florjancic, coming in. He's going to tell us about Kevin Love, how he was getting into the Halloween spirit early. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Stephanie.
We have that story up that you posted earlier on WKYC.com, so we'll drop that link in the comments for you right now. So what's Kevin Love doing? How's he dressing up this year?
Well, he decided to channel his inner horror movie villain, and he went with one of the most famous, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees. He showed up to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse yesterday in full gear, had a green work jacket very similar to something that has been worn in the Friday the 13th movies, and a baseball bat in his right hand. But it wouldn't be complete if he didn't have the mask, and not only did he wear the mask into the arena, he wore it during his post-game interview as well. It was absolutely classic what Kevin Love was able to do, and we saw this with LeBron in his second iteration with the Cavaliers, where they really embraced the Halloween spirit, had Halloween parties, dressed up in costume. It's nice to see Kevin Love carry on that fun-loving tradition off the court, but also then turn into a real horror movie character on the court as he scored 17 points, pulled down 20 boards, handed out 6 assists in the Cavs' 6-point victory over the Bulls last night. So he had a little fun with it, and then he backed it up on the court, which is always nice to see.
Well, we definitely love to see him have fun. We love it even more when they take that fun to the bank and win the game.
Yeah.
Always appreciate that.
It always helps a little bit more. Wins help more, and that's a perfect transition to the next topic.
Oh, it is a perfect transition to the next topic. This is a sore spot. It's not just a sore spot for all of us Cleveland Browns fans. Nick Chubb is feeling some type of way after the loss to the New England Patriots on Sunday. We also have that story up on WKYC.com, and we will drop that link in the comments for you so you can check that out. All right, Matt, how's Nick Chubb feeling?
Not too good. I mean, he's moved on, obviously, but he still remembers what it felt like on Sunday. In case you don't know, Nick Chubb's first 2 carries of the game resulted in lost fumbles that the Patriots recovered. One was a scoop and score that was returned for a touchdown. The other took away a drive that was inside the Patriots' 10-yard line. Typically, a very uncharacteristic of Nick Chubb. Usually ball security is not a problem for him. Unfortunately, against a really good defense, it was. And still, 4 days after the loss, he was still stinging, said he felt like he let the team down, and that's why he played so hard after that second fumble, because he felt like he owed it to the team to come out and give a good performance. And most telling about Nick is that he went on record and said, "I never want to have that feeling again." And
I don't want him to have that feeling again either.
No, none of us do. And that's the thing. We all love Nick Chubb. He's a fantastic football player. And I have said this, my poor wife at home, she's heard this story probably 50 times over since the start of training camp. But I've never seen anybody work harder in practice than Nick Chubb. He's a guy that was easily the incumbent starter. No challengers were going to knock him off that perch. And yet he was working like a guy who was trying to make the 53-man roster, not crack the starting lineup. So you know that with a good week of practice, he's going to get back on track, hopefully. And he's going to go up against another good defense this week. Denver doesn't have a great record. They're 2-6. But this is still a ferocious defense, and Von Miller always finds a way to be around the ball.
Well, if anybody would know what Chubb is like in practice, it would be you. You're always down in Berea. Matt is our guy, always there, keeping us updated on how it's going. So how do you feel going into Denver this Sunday? What do we think?
Feel pretty good. The week got off to an interesting start yesterday in Berea, as we all know. But judging off of what I've seen on the practice field and how I see the guys, most of them interacting with the media, I see a different sense of urgency and a different focus. They're not necessarily joking around and having the good times. They're very serious, and they're taking their responsibilities seriously. They know that this once promising season is maybe 1 or 2 more losses away from teetering on the brink, if you will. I mean, at 2-5 and 3 games behind the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North standings, they recognize the opportunity that they have against Denver, and I think they're not going to waste it.
Well, we'll definitely be looking to Matt to keep us updated on that with an outlook leading into the game, what's happening during the game, what happens after the game.
And hopefully we'll be able to talk positively on Sunday. It's been a while. It's been over a month.
Fingers crossed.
And we're all looking forward to getting it back in the W column.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Stephanie.
And I will say, I'm thankful for Matt's recap. I did not catch the game because I chose to go down to Canton and go trick-or-treating with my family, which I'm thankful that I did. So I did miss those 2 fumbles by Chubb. But I got to say, Chubb is great. You know, he's one of my favorite players on the team. I'm really hoping for good news here on Sunday against Denver. I feel like we expected to lose to the Patriots. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. Speaking of trick-or-treating, there are a lot of trick-or-treaters that are going to be going out today to do their trick-or-treating. Many people had trick-or-treating over the weekend, but we do have all of the trick-or-treating times for the communities that have not yet gone trick-or-treating up on WKYC.com right now. So we will go ahead and drop that link for you in the comments so that you can check your community and see what time you might be having your trick-or-treating tonight in case you live in one of those places that did not have their trick-or-treating last weekend. One specifically, there's a short period of time in Ashland. They're only trick-or-treating tonight from 6 to 7 p.m. Most of the communities trick-or-treating tonight are trick-or-treating from 6 to 8 p.m. And some are holding it from 5 to 7 p.m. So you can check that list and let us know if you're going to be trick-or-treating tonight in the comments. We would love to know that. So next up, we've got Pulk Jr. joining us here, and we are very excited to learn what he's been working on because it's always fun when he stops by.
Hey, what's up, Steph?
Oh, hello. I was expecting Mike. Who was this joining me?
It's me, Mike. I'm just wearing a silly outfit.
Oh, okay. I think you need to come
I'll
closer,
come over there.
Mike.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me just explain how this went down, because you have the right to know, and everybody does.
1 second. Just want to get ready.
Yeah, go
here
ahead.
For you.
Thanks. See, that's like an okay costume, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't. But what happened was I was under the impression that everybody from here got dressed up for Halloween, everybody at the office. This is I just started here a few months ago. So I think some of the guys are razzing me.
Oh.
Because they were like, you got to dress up, everybody dresses up. And some of the guys I sit near, I think it's just sort of like some rookie hazing kind of situation going on. And I'm not mad or anything like that, but as you can see, nobody dressed up. I mean, if you look around, you're like, this is the most I've seen, and you just did that just now just to make me feel better. But
That's right. I want to make sure you're comfortable here on 3 News Now. That's very important to us.
so now you're probably wondering, okay, if you had to dress up, like, why would you pick that? Right?
I am.
Logical thing to wonder. It's because the guys also told me that we were all going to dress up as their favorite classical era composers. And so I am Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And the other guys did not dress. They were like, oh, I'm going to dress as Bach. And somebody's like, I'm going to be Puccini. I don't even know who else.
I can't believe they did that to you.
So it's essentially a big prank on me. So I'm just dressed as Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart all day long. This is my third broadcast I've been on. I brought no other clothes. And so I'm just this for all day. And that's kind of where we're at.
Well, I think you look great, and I think you look like you're in the Halloween spirit, and we are all about
Thanks.
the Halloween spirit here at 3 News Now.
Still kind of a jerk move, but thank you. But it was a jerk move. But still, it's fine. I'm over it.
You have a haunted story for us, though, today, right?
I do, as a matter of fact. I am in the Halloween spirit, and we do have a haunted Willoughby sighting kind of situation going on tonight. I think it's in the 7 or maybe the 11. Watch both just to be safe. It's fine. But we go to the Willoughby Coal Company, which is supposed to be haunted, and we check and to see if we can hear any of the ghostly sounds. I mean, this place is supposed to be notorious. So we went out and gave it a shot, me and Lindsey Buckingham, not the Fleetwood Mac one, the reporter from here. We all accept that as normal, but it's not normal sometimes to people if they haven't heard that. We have a reporter here who's very talented, whose name is Lindsey Buckingham. It's a funny thing to get an email from her with her name in it the first time before you know that you have a Lindsey Buckingham here. But anyways, she's great, and we go and check that out. So if you want to get your spook on, then you can watch that haunted house thing either in the 7 or the 11. I should probably know that moving forward. I also do want to give a quick plug for next Monday's story that we're working on now, which is we have an election coming up on Tuesday, and it's one of those off-year elections, so people aren't super they just don't participate as much. And I understand a lot of boring issues, but we go out on the street and talk to Mark Namick and stuff like that and try and figure out why people are so apathetic about off-year voting. And now,
which is very important because they might be boring to Mike Pulk Jr., but they are very important issues. I will take the panda face off to tell you that you should vote on Tuesday.
See, that's good. I wish I could say something dignified right now, but I can't. I don't have the option of taking this off because I brought no other clothes.
Well, you always have an option. I mean, we appreciate you sticking with the costume.
So does HR. Here's what I do want to do. Do I have a minute before we go?
You do, yes.
I'll make
all
this
the
quick.
time in the world for Mike Pulk Jr. on 3 News Now, always.
This is, I'll make this quick. Just in the spirit, and since I'm dressed kind of like this anyways, and it's Halloween and everything, so I thought I'd kind of try and spook everybody out and read a scary poem. This is a poetic adaptation of the classic Washington Irving tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just...
Do we have a sound? Oh, we have a soundtrack. Okay, great.
Okay. If you ever visit old New York, a warning you should know. Beware the Sleepy Hollow, a place you dare not go. For there is an age-old story that the villagers believe true about a ghastly specter who will prey on the likes of you. Buried in the ancient churchyard is a trooper with no head, and in the gloomy moonlight he rises from the dead. It's almost over, I promise. It's not much longer.
I'm terrified.
Known as the Headless Horseman, he rides the road at night, forever searching for his head, a cursed and wicked sight. Rebuffed by his intended, Ichabod rode home through the darkened woods, fearful and alone. when suddenly a rider came. His eyes grew wide with fear. It was the headless horseman, and he was drawing near. Faster, faster, through the trees, he chased poor Ichabod Crane, who fled the village on that night. 'Twas never seen again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyways, the Halloween special is either on at 7 or 11 tonight, and then check out the election coverage. That'll be on the 7 p.m., I believe, on Monday night. And go out and vote.
Go out and vote. And go out and trick-or-treat tonight, too, if you're in one of the communities that's doing it. Thank you, Mike.
No problem.
It's always a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
I'll just
you
take
as
this
well.
off.
Okay.
Sorry. You guys are jerks.
Always great having Mike Pulk Jr. here on 3 News Now. If you are going out trick-or-treating tonight, our chief meteorologist here, Betsy Kling, gave us a preview of the weather. You can probably look outside and see that it's raining, but it's going to get potentially worse tonight. Now, there's a high wind warning tonight, according to Betsy's Instagram, for lakeshore counties, Erie, Lorain, Cuyahoga, Lake, and Ashtabula. Betsy says to be very careful trick-or-treating. This kind of wind will bring down branches and trees, and there is a wind advisory for all other areas with gusts of up to 50 miles per hour. So be careful out there. Thank you for joining us here on 3 News Now. If you're not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to make sure you get a notification every single time we go live. We'd love to see you back here every afternoon for 3 News Now, Monday through Friday. And thank you for joining us on our Facebook page. We appreciate you commenting in the live stream as we go. Make sure you like our page so that you don't miss a thing. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thanks.